And staying over at the Capitol here, we are working to find out how Senator Mitch McConnell is doing after the Kentucky Republican fell earlier in the hallway of the Senate office building. All of that caught on camera as the 83-year-old who was en route to the Capitol for votes grabbed an aide's arm seconds before he went down. McConnell, who announced in February that he would not seek another term next year, was quickly helped to his feet by the aide and a guard. As I mentioned, we do have that video here just coming into the newsroom from Storyful.
Excuse me, Senator. My name is Stella. I want to ask, do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and kidnapping them? Off the streets and kidnapping them?
What's up, guys? It's Benny. This is the broken hand of a warrior, someone who has been through true battles. Is it the hands of a boxer that just finished a grueling 10 rounds in the ring? Maybe a UFC fighter? Maybe it's a coal miner? Or is it the hands of Mitch McConnell, who just finished a battle between him and gravity? This is a battle that Mitch McConnell constantly loses. And the reason why he's losing it is because Mitch McConnell is losing his faculties because he's 83 years old. Mitch McConnell entered the Senate before I was born, and he's still there, and I'm no spring chicken. Mitch McConnell is constantly bruised and battered, constantly incapable of standing on his own 2 feet, needing to be wheeled around in a wheelchair by his staff. He's so old that he's constantly shattering ribs, getting concussions, falling downstairs, and getting bruised up like he stole from the mob. Here you have a new video of Mitch McConnell just collapsing in the Senate while reporters ask him a question. Mitch McConnell is our Joe Biden. I've said it many times before.
Hello? My name is Stella. I want to ask, do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and kidnapping them?
What the hell, man? What is wrong with everyone? As I said during the whole Joe Biden fiasco, this is exactly what we saw happen to Joe Biden a million times. Joe Biden just completely collapse. What is wrong with their families?
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sumi. Just in case you're seeing me for the very first time, I hope you do consider subscribing on the channel. You forgive my voice today. It's a little bit low. I'm sick, but regardless, we move. But anywho, in today's episode, I've come across this video of this elderly man falling down after him being asked question what he thinks about ICE. And I'm thinking this guy must even be traumatized when he hears such words. He's like, ooh, he's just falling. He's even tired. This is a man who is 83 years. He is literally supposed to have retired by now. And they are moving him every day. This is a man who has been walking in wheelchairs, and still they can't let him rest. What is this? I thought in the United States people had a certain age where they have to retire. But this guy's health also looks very bad. He's sick. He has no energy. He just needs to be home, taken care of, and to rest. This is crazy. The fact that now you have to ask your leaders about anything, and all the answer they give you is falling down. Falling down. This is crazy, guys.
These evil degenerates, these evil sickos. We've been arguing for a long time. This shouldn't happen. This is elder abuse. That's awful to watch. There absolutely need to be term limits. There has to be term limits. It's so hard to watch. People don't even book Nancy Pelosi anymore because they know that she's senile. Nancy Pelosi also using a walker here, famously, because, well, she fell down and broke her hip. She fell all the way down a flight of stairs and broke her hip. It's elder abuse. What they're doing, we need term limits now, and it would really solve a lot of problems in this country. So many of the problems are solved if you eliminate the capacity for people to just spend their entire lives sitting there, sucking off the government teat and becoming corrupt. It is something that we should push from a massive bipartisan level. And I think you'd have a lot of support for it. Honestly, that and banning stock trading, insider trading. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe for term limits. See ya.
I felt like I fell on ice when you asked me that question, for Christ's sake. Get the f*** out of here. Goddamn Karens for settle. Yo, I'm not going to lie. Mitch McConnell, when he was asked about ICE and he fell.
Do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and kidnapping them?
I chuckled a little bit. That was funny. I'm not laughing at somebody falling, like an older person falling. I'm laughing at when he fell. Because he was walking just fine. You know, he had some people holding him up, and then he's walking, you know. And this lady comes up to him, excuse me, Mr. McConnell. I love those women that come like they're really going to ask for like a picture or autograph, and then they ask him a really rough question. She goes, so what do you think about ICE? He's like, oh, Jesus Christ. I wouldn't like you to not ask me those questions. You see, I just fell. How dare you? That's not, I've been a senator for Kentucky. You know, he's been a senator, the longest running senator in Kentucky history. And you know, what if, this is just what I'm thinking, what if that's what he does when you ask him a f***ed up question? You know, as soon as she goes away, he goes, what'd you think about that? That's what I do every time. Every time someone asks me a question, what I do is I fall. You got right, because I'm 83 years old. I fall. They leave me the f*** alone. They're just like, yeah, he's on the ground. He's hurt. So anytime you ask me, say, what are you going to do about immigrants? Oh, shit. What are you going to do about welfare? Oh, shit. You ask me a question, I'm falling right there. I call that the old Kentucky lied chicken. See that? Say, I had...
You know what? Let's really take a look at why so many people hate Mitch McConnell so much. Well, maybe it's because his record is a consistent pattern of destruction for working class people. So Mitch McConnell was instrumental in overturning Roe v. Wade. He famously blocked Obama's Supreme Court nominee in 2016 and claimed that it was too close to an election, but then rushed to confirm Trump's nominee just days before the 2020 election. He has consistently fought against the interests of working class people. He opposed raising wages, blocked benefits for minors, and pushed to cut Social Security and Medicare. He even backed big corporate tax breaks for companies that he loved so much. Now, his obstruction extended to his own state of Kentucky, where he blocked minimum wage increases and funding for teachers, despite many families struggling, and they're still struggling to this day. Nationally, he voted against closing the gender pay gap and proudly called himself the guardian of the gridlock with a mission to obstruct Democratic presidents. He fought against voting rights and gun safety laws, all while taking $1.3 million from the NRA. After the January 6th insurrection, he condemned Trump, but then voted to acquit him. He was even photographed smiling in front of a Confederate flag. Now, McConnell represents the worst of American politics, protecting the rich, blocking progress, and enabling Trump. So yeah, get in here.
It is just so sad that we live in a society where the elderly are propped up like this. They're basically just being exploited by those around them. You can't tell me that that man has the full capacity to do the job that he's supposed to be doing. He just doesn't. A lot of them don't. We remember Dianne Feinstein. A lot of these people, Chuck Grassley, these people, there needs to be limits. You wouldn't allow your grandparents to be exploited like this. But yet, because they're not our grandparents, they're not in our family, we just think it's normal that these elderly people who clearly don't really know what's going on, we expect them to fulfill the position and the duty that they swear an oath to? Is this... Do we wonder why the United States of America is where it's at? Of all the reasons that we could say, yes, this is why we are here today, When you watch this video of Mitch McConnell, that's one more reason.
All right, racists, let's collapse.
Kidnapping them?
Shut up.
The United States has fallen, and the government is hiding it from you. The country is considered to have collapsed when its government can no longer perform basic functions like providing security, public services, and effective governance for its citizens. This condition is also described as a failed state, or in extreme cases, a collapsed state. Various political, economic, and social indicators can signal a country's collapse. So let's get started. The erosion of legitimate authority. This is when the government and its institutions are seen as corrupt and illegitimate by a growing portion of the population. Factionalized elites. Where there's televised and publicized internal conflicts among the ruling class, the elites become more concerned with personal gain than state functions, and they lose the support of the populace. Increase in violence. There's a rise in civil unrest, violent protests, and internal conflict, an uptick in violent racial tensions, all red flag indicators of a breakdown of order. There are also economic indicators, starting with the decline of the U.S. economy and an increase in poverty. In this stage, the economy enters a prolonged period of distress with high levels of poverty and unemployment. The typical warning sign for this stage is a rapid decline in GDP per capita. High and unsustainable national debt. This indicator comes when the government is unable to manage its debt and may risk defaulting, leading to economic instability, accompanied by mass selling of bonds. And lastly, the social indicators. Failure of public services. When the government can no longer provide essential services such as healthcare, education, clean water, and infrastructure. Decline in social cohesion. When there's an increase in inequality, ethnic tensions, and social unrest that leads to a loss of civic pride and public morality, which is the stage we find ourselves in today. So you heard it here first, folks, and I hate to be the one to tell you, but this country already collapsed. They just hope you wouldn't notice so that way they can occupy your time and devise a plan for what's next. The collapse was never promised to reflect what Hollywood would have you to perceive it as. But you survived the collapse of this nation, and here you remain. It's up to us, the people, to decide what's next. Not them.
Baby, that video that's going around of Mitch McConnell falling to his knees, baby, I thought that man had been retired. When he was asked about what was his take on what's happening with the ICE raids, baby, he fell to his knees. Again, I thought the man was retired by now. Why do we still have 83-year-old senators making decisions about anything? And the fact that he still didn't answer the question, what was his take on what's going on with the ICE raids? There needs to be an age limit when it comes to any kind of politician. Because 83, honey, he needs to be at home with his family, sitting on the couch, not making decisions, because clearly he's unstable. Honey, these people... Like I said, I thought the man had been retired.
Kidnapping them?
Man, I've said it before and I'll say it again. These people that has been in Congress, Senate for 50 and 60 years, man, y'all people need to vote them out in y'all's district. He is not doing any good for y'all. I guarantee you they got this sucker out of the bed, dressed him, and then led his ass to where he had to go. And you see he tried to walk 50 feet by himself and failed. I mean, this is the same guy last year. He was freezing up on stage and just... I mean, come on now. Two that really need to go. Nancy Pelosi and Mitch, this guy right here, McConnell. They need to get their asses out of there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is very sad because I don't know what an elderly man of 83 years old is still doing in office. I don't even understand the kind of ideas that he is given. I don't understand what a man of this man is supposed to be retired by now. This is crazy, guys. This is a guy who is sick. He literally can't even walk by himself. He has to be, held by his bodyguards. And this is a guy whom you want to come and represent you people. This is crazy. I am thinking this guy might not be at this age, maybe he doesn't even remember his name. So you think he can literally give decisions about the states? I bet. Me coming across this video, it's really absurd that a man of this age is still working for the government of the United States. And they are seeing his condition and no one is doing anything. The guy even moves in a wheelchair. Apparently, I heard he fell off the stairs. Do you really think this guy's brains even work very well? Because the moment he fell and he stood, he looked behind like as if he's even confused. He's like, so that is your leader. This is a person you're looking at to make decisions for the states. And probably I think they don't want him to retire because they know if they put somebody else who is younger, the person is going to change the system. They want to continue using this one, or maybe it just doesn't make sense to me to find a man of 83 years still working in that condition that is in. Something doesn't make sense, because you think for them they don't see him. You think for them they don't see him. They see him, they see he's very old, they see he is sickly, but still they want his presence. This is crazy, guys. I don't know. And the family of this man, they are still watching him. I don't get it, guys. For the Americans, you know better. But for me, I just don't understand why a man of 83 years old is still working, falling. No, it doesn't make any sense to me. But anywho, allow me to stop here. I don't want to talk too much about this episode because I think Americans, you know better. I want you to tell me what you think about this episode down in the commentary. And maybe if you have watched this video up to this far, I'm thinking you have enjoyed it. Maybe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please, I hope you do consider subscribing. Tap on that bell so that every time I upload anything on here, you're always notified, Again, let me take this opportunity. Shout out to the person who subscribed to the membership of this channel, Letitia. Thank you so much. My returning subscribers, you guys, thank you as well. So I guess we shall meet again in another clip. Otherwise, bye-bye. Have a lovely night. Also pray for me because you can see my eyes are a little bit heavy. I'm not well, but regardless, we move.